Teleportation in Unity can be done in two ways, using a teleport anchor and teleport area. Copy the entire teleport area setup from the sample scene and paste it in the VR scene. The teleport anchor is used when the user has to be teleported to a certain point. Use the transform arrows to move the anchor to the desired position. Multiple anchors can be placed in the scene by just copy-pasting or duplicating the teleport anchor game object. The other way is to create a teleportation area. This could be any floor area or terrain which has a valid collider. If the floor area is a single object and has uniform height, just drag and drop the collider of the floor area object and the teleportation works fine. In my case, the scene has multiple floor components and varying heights, so I'm going to create an AI navigation mesh, which I can use to create the collider for the teleportation area. To do so, go to Windows, Package Manager, change the package to Unity Register, and search for AI navigation and install it. Once the installation is done, go to Game Object, AI, and select NavMesh Surface. In the Inspector tab, reset its position and press Bake to generate the NavMesh data. The blue areas are the generated NavMesh surface. Next step would be to create a collider for the generated NavMesh and choose that collider in Teleportation Area Script component. This is done using a simple script. I have named it NavMesh to Mesh Converter. Create two public variables, one to receive the NavMesh and the other to access the converted mesh, and a private variable for internal use. First part of the code ensures that the NavMesh is already built. To convert the NavMesh to mesh, triangulate the NavMesh. Create a new mesh variable and assign the vertices and triangles to the newly created mesh object. At last, assigning the mesh and the mesh collider generated to the public game object. Now attach the script to Teleportation Area component. Assign the NavMesh surface created to the script component. Create an empty object for the converted mesh object. Name the empty game object as Mesh Area. Add a mesh filter and mesh collider to the empty game object. These empty fields will be assigned through the script. Drag and drop the mesh area to the script. Under Teleportation Area, assign the Mesh Area collider. Make sure the convex option is not enabled, as that could complicate the collider shape. Testing the environment and the teleportation works fine. Creating grabbable objects and projectiles will be covered in the next video.